Fresh and Fit are a prime example of doing too much. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the YouTube channel Fresh and Fit getting demonetized. Now, I know that every channel on YouTube is talking about this, but I got to give my 2 cents. I've seen quite a few videos on it. I've been mentioned in some of the videos because I saw this whole thing coming, and I just want to give my point of view in the more full and complete way. And before I start, I just want to say that I don't take pride in talking about this. I'm not happy that these guys got demonetized. We had some back and forth on Twitter between myself and one of these guys from Fresh and Fit, but it's nothing. I'm not really worried about that. I don't want to see anybody get a channel demonetized unless they're just terrible, ridiculous, horrible people, which I don't think these guys are. However, they most certainly did way too much, and that's the reason why they got demonetized. And this whole thing right here should be a cautionary tale for anyone in the YouTube space or on social media in general. If you just stay in your lane and don't do too much, you'll be fine. But when you do, you'll have problems. Now, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about or whatever, let me give you some background. Now, these are the hosts of Fresh and Fit. It's a relationship, lifestyle, young kind of podcast. They film in Miami. They have a studio in a residence. I'm not sure if they live there, but it's a nice spot. Very well done. Nice production. These are the hosts. On the left, you have Fit, known as Myron Gaines, although that's not his name. That's what he's known as. On the right, you have Fresh, who goes by Walter Weeks. These are the hosts, very popular. The draw, in my opinion, is Fit on the left. That's Myron. He's the draw. He's the one that always goes viral, has the moments where he kicks girls out. That's him. They've become very successful, very popular. They have about 1.49 million subs and counting on YouTube. They're also popular on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. They're all over the internet. Very, very popular. Some would describe them as a Kevin Samuels type podcast. And by the way, RIP to Kevin Samuels. I knew him. Great guy. Kevin was one of their first big interviews. They've done quite a few interviews. Kevin, of course, DJ Academics, Charleston White. But normally, when you see these guys, it looks something like this. So you see Fresh and Fit. These are going to be the hosts. You see them in the foreground, and then you see girls in the back. It's only about, 5 girls here, but sometimes it could be 10, 15, 20. It could be a whole studio full of girls. And a lot of times these girls do OnlyFans. They might be strippers or regular girls, social media influencers, just regular people. And a lot of times they're being challenged about feminism. You know, the whole model, in my opinion, and I'm not hating because it become very popular, is you get these girls that aren't necessarily rocket scientists to come in there, and they are asked really hard-hitting questions, okay? And there's sometimes they're giving drinks. You see red cups. I'm not sure what's in the cup. Is it water or something else? I don't really know. Might be drinking a little bit. They're asking them certain questions, and the objective is to have it be entertaining, maybe go viral. That's the whole setup. Now, I'll let this play, but I won't have any sound because I don't want to get a copyright claim from these guys. I'll talk about that in a minute. But that's the basic structure of their podcast. Now, $1 million question. How did these guys go too far? Why did it get demonetized? Great question. Glad you asked. There's a lot going on. If they would have just stayed in this format, having the girls talk, doing like the whatever podcast, kind of mundane questions to girls that's like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, they probably would have been fine. They'd have been right there on the line, just like Kevin Samuels was. Kevin Samuels would have call-in shows. Women would call in, men would call in, and he'd be harsh. Sometimes he'd go viral, but he was respectful. He would say, sir and ma'am, and wouldn't cuss too much. He was right on the line to be interesting, to be entertaining, to be controversial, to get a lot of views and attention, but he was not over the edge doing too much. Now, these guys, rather than just staying in this format, decided to kind of branch out. Okay, you're interviewing guys like Nick Fuentes, who is one of the most toxic people in the world. I said it about just Pearly Things. It's like, You want to interview Nick Fuentes, all he's going to do is get your channel nuked. He's going to nuke your channel, get you demonetized, get you deplatformed, because he has been deplatformed. And they also interview guys like Sneeko. They're interviewing guys that have been deplatformed because of how they behave. And then when they interview them, they take on some of their behaviors. Prime example, questioning the Holocaust and making monkey noises, talking about somebody's wife. And that's something else that they did. Let me come back so you can see me clearly. What they did, rather than just staying in their lane, talking about the young ladies and having the viral kick out moments, being on the edge, kind of being hated, but not too much. What they did was branch out and do things that it's if you're going to do something like that, you can't do the other thing. You got to pick what you're going to do. You got to pick your controversial lane. If you want to interview Nick Fuentes and Sneeko and guys like this, just do that and don't have the viral kick out moments of the girls, because you're just compounding controversial things. And I think the thing that really got them was when they started to have, quote unquote, beef with other content creators. When they started having the beef with Abba and Preach, when they started talking about, oh, we're gonna box you, we're gonna fight you, and then having internal beef. One guy showed up to the set trying to break in, talking about, oh, get away from him, Walter, he gonna mess you up. That was a moment, and they put that on camera. Another moment was somebody had a gun in there and might have brandished it or was about to brandish it because of an argument with somebody that was on set. Stuff like that goes on. And then you want to have interviews with Sneeko and Nick Fuentes. And then you want to go on Rumble with Sneeko, put on the Klan hood, making monkey noises. You're just doing way too much. And the thing about it is YouTube does not want to demonetize these guys. And to be clear, if you don't know what the word demonetize really means, or you may know, but you may not really fully get it, what that means for those who don't know is YouTube no longer pays you from putting ads on your videos, which is going to be the chief revenue source for the majority of YouTube channels. And that money is nothing to sneeze at. For these guys being as popular as they are, being as busy as they are, doing content every day, multiple times a day, live streams. There's no more super chat revenue like how you guys may watch me and then you donate to me live on YouTube. They can't do that anymore because that's part of the monetization program. So no more super chats, no more ads on the videos. That's going to be a big drop. These guys are probably making well into the six figures every month. I'm thinking at least $200,000 to $300,000 a month. Could I be wrong? Of course, but I don't think I am. I'm just guessing here. I don't know their numbers. I don't know these guys. I don't have their back end information. But if they were to tell me they make 300 grand a month, I'd be like, yeah, that's about right for these guys. When you combine it, they have multiple channels, which all got demonetized. Then you have live streams, pre-recorded videos. You put out a lot of different content, and you probably sell merch through the actual channel as well. When you put all that together, 300 grand is not really that crazy. And YouTube takes half on top, not meaning half of 300, but half before they get to 300. So they might generate 650. YouTube takes 350, they get 300. So YouTube does not want to see these guys go away, but they're just doing way too much. And demonetizing them is not the same thing as deleting their channel, because I've seen some guys get channels deleted. Thomas Sotomayor comes to mind. Many guys have had channels just removed from YouTube. They're not quite there. So they could get back into the program. They could get back remonetized, but they got to pivot. It can't be no more of this crazy off-platform activity. It can't be any more of attacking guys' wives. It can't be no more making monkey noises, racial references, denying the Holocaust. Just stay in your lane if you want to be on YouTube. Now, some are going to say, well, what about freedom of speech? What does that mean? What does freedom of speech actually mean? All that means is you can't get locked up for unpopular opinions, meaning the federales can't bust in the Fresh and Fit studios in Miami, Florida, and arrest Fresh and Fit, aka Myron and Walter, because they say something they don't like. They can't do that. But YouTube has the right to have terms and conditions and to not want you to be affiliated with their brand. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have the advertisers begin to complain. These guys are doing too much. I don't want to have Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Old Spice deodorant next to these guys making monkey noises and wearing Klan hoods. We don't want that. So either you're going to get them off of the program or we're going to take ads away from the entire platform. So then it becomes a financial decision and YouTube has no choice. They want these guys to tighten up and get right so they can get back to the money. But if they don't want to do that, then there's nothing that can be done. Now, some are going to say, well, look, ABL, all they need is Rumble and whatnot. Rumble is nowhere near what YouTube is. You're not going to make any kind of money over there. It's an alternative media platform and it's cool. You could put videos over there, but the production value, the frequency of the episodes coming out is going to be determined by how much money you make. Okay, because these guys got staff. Look, you got editors, people that are procuring the girls that come in. You got some of the girls and some of the talent themselves that might get paid for an interview. You got all this stuff going on. It's got to get paid for. Okay, if they got a studio they invested in, they got to pay for that. If you go to Rumble, you're making a fraction of your money. You'd be better off, actually, I'm going to tell you this as I close. Even though they're demonetized on YouTube, they're still on the platform. They're still putting out videos. They're still streaming. They can probably make more from off YouTube revenue, meaning merchandise sales, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, whatever kind of direct money payments from their people, Patreon, if they have that. They can make more money from the traffic on YouTube, although not monetized, than they can over on Rumble, even with all their features. If they monetize on Rumble or whatever, it doesn't matter. All the features on Rumble could be totally active. They can still make more while not being monetized on YouTube only beyond what Rumble can get you. That's the truth of the situation. So that tells you how much this makes a difference. But as I close for real this time, again, my advice to anybody out there trying to start a channel, anybody out there that's currently a YouTuber, just don't do too much. Stay within your lane. You want to be able to advance and grow and do different things. You don't want to stay stagnant, but you don't want to go regress. You think by interviewing Sneeko and these other controversial people that you're advancing, but really you're regressing. You're going backwards. You want to go forward to be able to make more money and make a bigger difference and make more change. You don't want to go back and getting into the petty back and forth beef, the unnecessary controversy, the gratuitous just nonsense for nonsense sake. You don't want to do that. You want to advance in a truly progressive way, not in a political woke way. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Fresh and Fit being demonetized? Do you care? Do you not care? Did you see it coming like I did because they're doing way too much? One of the main things I almost forgot to mention is that they were issuing false copyright strikes against people that criticized them in a negative way. They didn't like some things that were being said, so they put out a lawyer and they were flagging videos. I think Leader Attorney got hit like that. I think Abba and Preach got hit like that. That was the beginning of the end. When you get into the interpersonal beef, I don't know. Look, you want to make a video about ABL? Okay, go and knock yourself out. I'm not going to respond. I don't got no time for that. I'm Stevie Wonder to all the nonsense. I'm focused on my craft, my content, delivering the truth, a good positive message. That's it. All the other stuff is getting in the way, and it does nothing but drag me back down to a place where I don't want to be. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.